these are really the top exercises to build a thick forearm, thick wrist. I haven't worked out today. I don't have a pump or anything right now. This is just normal, the normal size of my wrist. So with the pump, it's going to look bigger, obviously. So, you know, if you want to have, if you want your arms to look bigger, your hand to look bigger, do some of these exercises and you'll get a pump and it'll be bigger. But to grow the muscles in these areas, I'm going to show you a bunch of exercises that I like to do. Now for the wrist, people say, oh, your wrist doesn't get bigger. It does get bigger, okay? Bones grow, tendons grow. You have body fat to factor in. They get bigger. You know, fingers can get thicker. Limbs can lengthen. There's people who have displayed this. Athletes that use one arm more than the other. The other arm is thicker, it's longer. It's bigger. You know, it's not this huge measurable amount, but when you put them side by side, you know, there is a difference in height when you're putting them flat on the table. Anyways, that takes years and years, but you can do it. You can get a thicker wrist. You can thicken the tendons and ligaments in your wrist with heavy use. Your hand can get thicker this way. It can get thicker this way. Your fingers can get thicker. There's muscle here. There's muscle here. There's muscle in between your bones that make your fingers move up and down like this. There's muscle here. There's plenty of muscle in the hand that can grow and get bigger. And like I said, with lots of use, the bones and tendons can thicken as well over time. So let's jump into the exercise. So one of the biggest muscles on the forearm is this one right here. And this comes from wrist flexion and also finger flexion, right? Something like this. This is made by Alpha Grips. What's cool about this is it's adjustable. So if I don't want to do a heavy grip work, I can adjust it and make it lighter. If I want it to be heavier, I can make it heavier, right? The alternative to this, I'll show you right now. So here's the alternative. You can spend a lot of money on different grippers to get different resistance, or you can get something simple like this where you can adjust the intensity of the workout. Now, it's not going to be as high as these grippers. These go all the way up to number 4. This is a Captain's Crest number 4, like that. That's very thick, okay? So you're probably not going to close this. There's only a handful of people who can close the number 4, and I'm not one of them. So this is perfect for me. I do about 3 sets of 50 in the morning, 3 sets of 50 at night. Both hands. You can see what muscles that it's working, okay? Okay, the other things that work this muscle group here is just wrist curls. Lots of wrist curls. I do 3 sets of 50 in the morning, 3 sets of 50 at night. I do it 5 days a week right now. So you can just do a normal cable and do your wrist curls. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 50. 3 sets of that in the morning, 3 sets at night. Or you can do all 6 sets. You know, if you 50 reps is a lot. You're going to be here a long time doing 6 sets of 50 on this, 6 sets of 50 on this. So next part I want to focus for the forearm at least is the back of the forearm. You know, there's this whole other side to your arm that can get thicker. And as you can see on my arm, I'm thick all the way down to the wrist because I work every single muscle in the forearm, and that gives me a thickness all the way down. You know, I may not have the biggest forearm right here, but the thickness goes all the way down. One way to do that is to train finger extension. So with these guys, you just put them on. I like to put them on my fingertips. I see videos of people having it all the way down here. That's ridiculous. Just put it on your fingertips, just like this. And you can do 3 sets of 50, right? See what it's working here. 3 sets of 50 over here. And this works this back of the arm. Now the other thing that works the back of the arm is wrist extensions. So just like this, 3 sets of 50. This also helps with tennis elbow. Keeping this area strong helps to prevent tennis elbow as well. if you have a really bad case of tennis elbow and you can't do this way, this is like 8 pounds, you can lift the weight up here with your other hand and then lower it slowly. It's gonna hurt, but you need to strengthen this area when you have a tennis elbow injury. Tennis elbow lasts a very long time, months and months and months, 6 months, maybe even a year. But you need to rehab it. If you just leave it alone, if you don't train when you're injured, you're just going to get weak, okay? So you're going to be injured and weak. So it's better to continue to strengthen the injured area with a low intensity without making the injury worse, okay? I want to come back to this device again, also from Alpha Grips. When you put it on your fingers and you're done with your finger extensions, take the thumb out, straighten your hand, and open your fingers like this. So what this is working is this muscle right here. Okay, I'll come to the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see this muscle right here is being worked. This also works this muscle here. So it's making your hand thicker this way. And like we were saying before, there's muscles in between the bones of your fingers. This is working those muscles too, that make your fingers go like this, move this way. Okay, so you're thickening that part of your hand when you're doing these. The other part of your hand that has a big muscle on it, as we were saying, is this part of your hand. Your thumb moves in many different ways, right? Some of the muscles in your thumb are right here. I like to use this. Another product from Alpha Grips. You can probably use a ball, but and they have balls too, and you can buy a ball, like a racquetball or something like that. The reason why I like this is the way it fits into my hand, it really plays into my sport, which is arm wrestling. Right, and if I had a big giant ball in here, there just wouldn't be enough room for me to get the work in that I needed, right, for my sport. If there's a ball, it's going to be like this. Since this is a ring, my thumb can wrap around it. And this really works, this muscle here, rock hard. Now, another tool that I use, and surprisingly, yes, it works the forearm a lot. This next tool does work these parts of your forearm, but it really works your hand. And that's this. This is the Axe by HGG Performance. I love this thing. I use it all the time. It puts a lot of torque into your hand. What that does for me is it helps to thicken up my hand. It's really wrenching and grinding into your hand, and it's really just strengthening your hand. There's many different ways you can use it. I have tons of videos of how I use it. You can use it like this. Since I'm an arm wrestler, this is normally how I use it. You can do supination as well. Here, I'll do it this way. You can do supination as well. This is how I do supination. You can even do pronation the same way. Right? And instead of doing your pronation like this, which is also good, you get a nice good stretch, your pronation goes all the way over, palm down, right? When you're doing this, you're not getting that final range of motion with that. I like to train that final range of motion, so I'm doing my pronation like that. And then obviously, you probably can't see, but you can do the ulnar deviation as well. Really thickens up your hand, and obviously your pronation muscles, your supination muscles, your ulnar, the muscles that cause ulnar deviation and the muscles that cause radial deviation are being activated with that. That's going to thicken up your forearm. It's also going to thicken up the tendons and ligaments in your wrist and in your hand big time when you're holding on to something heavy and it's a thicker bar. You don't want too thick. I don't like super thick. It starts to work different muscles, but for me it's like holding a sledgehammer or something. Puts a lot of stress on your tendons and your bones and your ligaments, and it's going to help thicken up. Now, the last exercise that I like is just basically hammer curls. that's going to build this big muscle here. I can show you mine. It's going to build that, right? And that's just hammer curls. You can do full range of motion if you like. I like to do these short range of motions just for my sport. And the weight that I like to use are these bag weights. The reason why I like to use these bag weights, because the weight's sitting on this part of my hand. You know, I'm not holding on to it, really. You know, it's just like this. Okay, and it's pulling my hand down. You know, there's since the weight is on the back of my hand, it's giving me pressure this way. So it's working a lot of stuff. Right? You can do it straight like this. You can pronate it if you want. Okay, there's lots of different things you can do. Any other thing I like about these weights is when you're done with it, you can just drop it. You don't have to be careful with it. You don't have to worry about, you know, dropping it on your foot. I'll drop it on my foot right now. Oh, that doesn't feel good, but my foot's not broken. So they're safer, they're quieter, they're heavy duty. But the main reason why I like them is it's just like a strap. I'm used to working with strap weights as an arm wrestler, so when I saw these, I was like, these are awesome, these are perfect. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about these exercises, let me know. Again, we have the HGG Axe, several products from Alpha Grips. This you can get anywhere. This you can get anywhere. And then the XB Bell by Progression Source.